Why do you think the Kroenkes believe in Mikel Arteta is his first job? Is his first job, Chris?
I mean, why was he hired in the first place? I think they tried to hire someone with experience in Unai Emery. They thought he was ideal because he won European trophies. He was a very good tactical manager. I've interviewed Unai, and I think he's a really good guy, and
Yes,
he's
he
a
is.
fantastic coach. Fantastic coach,
Yes,
and we've
yes.
seen he beat Arsenal last season. He won the Europa League last season.
Yes,
He's a great manager. Mikel Arteta, it's unproven. He's an unproven manager. I think one of the reasons was that he's an ex-player. I think that helped. The fact that he knows the club very well inside out. I think he comes across very well. Maybe I think now fans are going to say maybe he doesn't come across as well because Arsenal are losing games. But in the first season, they were doing really well. Arsenal won the FA Cup, the Community Shield. You can understand why they hired Mikel Arteta, but now things are not going so well. People are asking questions. What I would say is the next 3 games are crucial. Arsenal need points from these next few games. Otherwise, it's going to be really difficult for Arteta to keep his job, in my opinion.
you talk about the formation that maybe Mikel Arteta wants to prove, but he has to change because the context. Do you think Mikel Arteta could be back to that first months when he was very flexible? He was very flexible with the propose to each rivals. I don't know what happened in this last year. I always see Mikel Arteta afraid of make some moves. Do you think some of that? Or what happened?
I think he's hesitant and maybe cautious to take risks in the team. Mikel Arteta, when he's asked about young players and giving young players an opportunity, he always says, there's no manager in the Premier League that gives young players opportunities like me. And maybe he's right, but I think we could have seen maybe more young players over the past few seasons. Like Shkodra Mustafi was playing games last season. Sead Kolasinac has been playing at centre-back this season. Where is William Saliba, for example? Mikel Arteta doesn't think he's ready for the Premier League, but he's playing at Marseille. He was one of the best defenders in France.
He's doing very good.
So there's these kind of decisions which as a journalist, I would question. I'm not a football manager, so you always have to take a step back and remember these guys are qualified coaches. They've taken their coaching badges. They can judge a player very well. But there's some decisions which don't make sense. I think, like, for example, I mentioned Mustafi because he was playing games last season instead of Saliba. And I just feel like Mikel Arteta is sometimes cautious to take risks and scared to take risks in games because he knows maybe the reaction, what it's going to be of fans if it doesn't go well. But I think as a manager, sometimes you have to take risks. And yeah, I would say that's the main thing.
That's the risk the risks that Arteta took before is what give him the trophies. But right now, nothing. Well, I want to ask you about Saliba. You mentioned Saliba. Do you think you mentioned? I didn't say that. You want to talk about, so I will ask. William Saliba and Mikel Arteta. Do you think that relationship is broken for at the end, or there's some possibility that William Saliba will come back and prove right now? But we also are listening that Mikel Arteta wanted Tapsoba.
Yeah, I think Mikel Arteta and William Saliba, I don't know about their relationship. I don't think they have a close relationship. Mikel Arteta doesn't think William Saliba is ready to play in the Premier League. That's his decision. And I think my decision, if I was Arsenal manager, would be to have Saliba in the squad at least. He could play some games, he could get some minutes, or he could go on loan to a Premier League team as well to really show what he can do in this country. I think he still has a chance of playing for Arsenal, but he needs to sign a new contract because his contract expires in a couple of years, I think. So next summer will be contract talks. It will either be William Saliba being sold, or he signs a new contract and he's going to stay and fight for his place. So it's coming up a really important period for Saliba. I really like him. I'm also a big fan of Dinos Mavropanos. Like everyone, anyone who saved a lot of money if they brought back Saliba and Mavropanos this summer. But instead they've sold Mavropanos, or they've loaned him with a obligation to buy. And Saliba, of course, is on loan. So again, those decisions that we're going to question, I think. But
I'm not agree because some person talks about William Saliba like he's Maldini, like he's Carlos Puyol.
Yes. No, I agree with you. I think social media nowadays, people hype up players to a different level. If they really like a player, the player can be compared to like you say, Maldini and stuff like that. I don't think Saliba is completely ready for the Premier League. I saw him live last season playing for Arsenal under-21s against AFC Wimbledon in the EFL Trophy. He was shaky in that game. He got sent off. He actually got a red card.
It was MK Dons, I thought, or Wimbledon.
I think AFC Wimbledon, or maybe MK Dons. Yeah,
well, in the last season we are talking about, right?
Yeah, no, it was AFC Wimbledon. Yeah, who we're going to play. Arsenal going to play this season as well. But yeah, he got sent off in that game. He didn't look ready, and I think then Mikel Arteta decided to send him out on loan to Nice in January. So I think the best decision now is that he goes out on loan, which he is, and then he comes back and he's ready to compete for a place in the team. But it doesn't look like at the moment Mikel Arteta is a huge fan of Saliba.
It's very clear. Just for finishing this interview, this talking as fans, and also I'm journalist. If you didn't know, I'm journalist also. But I wanted to ask about the relation with the fans, and do you think there is more hating than fans? More haters than fans in these times about Arsenal, around Arsenal?
Again, I think with social media, it's difficult to know what the feeling is in real life. And when I say real life, I mean in the stadium.
Yeah.
Because social media can be very intense, can be very negative if things are going badly. And sometimes you need to take a step away and realize what the bigger picture is, and take some perspective as well, because there are a lot of people as well who will be negative and say negative things to try and get reactions because they know it gets...
They want, for example, Arsenal losing against Norwich, against Wimbledon, only for Mikel Arteta going out of the club. I think I see a lot in this community. I comprehend a little, but not at all. Not at all. I read you post about the 12 key pass of Martin Odegaard against Gibraltar, and people was, oh, come on, give me a relax, give me a time, come on, give me a break.
I mean, yeah. Look, anything we post at the moment as journalists about Arsenal, which is slightly positive, we will be accused of working for Kroenke or being pro Arteta or pro this or pro that, when in reality, I'm an Arsenal fan from the age of 7 years old. I started my Arsenal website when I was 14 years old. I'm working in my dream job, and I want the club to do well. And when I see players doing well, like Martin Odegaard, even if he's playing against a school team, I still want him to do well. I still want to post about it because I think it's good to celebrate the success of Arsenal players and anyone connected with Arsenal, because that's what is important. That's a community feeling, and that's just my opinion. Some people some people can build a brand out of being negative, and
Yes,
that's fine. They can
yes.
do that. People can do
And
what they want.
and they got sponsors and super chats, and they are making rich really with the hating of Arsenal. I don't say Arteta, but hating Arsenal and everything Arsenal does.
And look, that people can do what they want. Like I'm not
No,
saying anything about these people. People can do what they want. But
yes,
my point
they are free.
is that I think you can be you can see all sides. Like I think sometimes as a fan, it's difficult to see both sides and have a perspective of what is happening, and especially as we don't get inside the club. Obviously, we have journalists like myself and people reporting on the team, but we're not inside the club. However, Amazon are filming at the moment, which is going to be amazing. I cannot wait for this to be released.
When I get the notice, it's unbelievable. Why are they doing that? I don't know. Why are they doing that? We are going to finish with that. What do you think about that series?
Well, I think Amazon are paying Arsenal around £10 million, so that's the reason. That's the reason why they've agreed to it commercially. Mikel Arteta didn't really want to do it, but the owners, the Cronkies, they think it's a good idea, and I think it is a good idea for Arsenal. If Arsenal are playing well, it's an amazing idea.
Of course, but Sunderland, no,
no, but
we have some Sunderland or Tottenham.
But even Sunderland and Tottenham, it's good for their global fan base. I'm talking from a commercial perspective in terms of the fan base. That's what they're looking at. They're not looking at Arsenal are playing badly, so we shouldn't film. In fact, it makes for more interesting viewing to see how the team are when things are going badly, when things are tough, to see how the players react. And I think it's going to be really interesting to see the inside of the club. And I know that there's lots of different small cameras around the training ground and around the dressing room as well. So yeah, it will be very interesting. I had to watch
the Spurs series because I want to know how could be the hours. Do you think Mikel Arteta is going to be since the first until the last episode?
Oh, that's a great question. Great question. You've really put me on the spot there. I would say yes. I would say yes. I think he will be. I think Arsenal can. Yeah, I think Arsenal can turn things around. They have a fully fit squad now, so it's now or never. It's all or nothing, as the Amazon documentary is called. If Arsenal don't start winning games, then obviously Mikel Arteta eventually is going to be sacked. But I think right now, with a fully fit squad, Arsenal can get some results. So I'm optimistic, and I think you have to be when things are tough.
I want to watch Leo Messi. I want to watch Leo Messi in some video.
In 10 years.
What happened with Leo Messi? This Mohamed Salah? What happened? What is doing Mertesacker? I love her. I love her.
Yeah, he's doing a great job with the academy. But look, it's not just Per Mertesacker. There's lots of analysts inside the club. There's lots of hardworking people who are doing a great job at Arsenal, and they don't get much credit for what they do. But I think I want to mention them because they're doing a really good job at Arsenal and bringing in the next young players like Leo Messi and more older players as well, like Rekic and Biref and Salah and many others. So there's some great players coming through the academy, which is positive at least.
There is a very good future, of course. We hope we can see Leo Messi with Lionel Messi someday. Thank you, Chris. Thank you again. You have done a very good work and I want to finish this interview asking, where do you think comes that rumors about Conte or some things like that? Why do you think? I have a position. The credibility of journalists like you, Fabrizio Romano, David Ornstein, are pulling back down because the people wants to believe in that rumors of Conte. So they critic person like you or Romano when they say the truth. There's no relation. There's no relation with Conte or their agents. But people want to kick to people say that's not true. Like me, for example, when I say no, I prefer to believe the people says Conte will come. Wow, the information is only one.
Most of the time, the information, when it comes to that kind of thing, it's not true. Especially when the transfer window is closed and players start being linked. A lot of the time, it comes from agents. And as you know, Gianfranco, you're a journalist yourself, so you know how these kind of things work sometimes. I can't speak for other journalists, but I know myself, it can be difficult sometimes when you're trying to, when you have information which is great information, you know the fans or you know people are going to react to it in a negative way because it's not the information that they want to hear or see. And that's been the case for me many times this summer.
It's like the COVID situation. I want to believe COVID doesn't exist. I won't trust in people says COVID exists. I don't want to trust in that. It's very difficult. Very difficult, but big up, Chris. Big up, you can, you can survive.
Big up yourself as well. You're doing great work.
Thank you, Chris. I hope to see you again.
Likewise, Gianfranco. Thank you for having me as always, and yeah, keep the faith. That's what I would say. Keep the faith.
Big up, Chris. Thank you very much for being with us. It was Chris Wheatley again in the house. We hope to have. The next interview maybe could be in London. I will try to go someday. I will look to you. I will look the next year because I started classes. I have to go to the university. Next year I will go to London. I promise, Chris. Thank you for being with us, Chris.
Okay. See you in London. Okay. Thank you.
See you, Chris. Thank you, Gunners. It was Chris Wheatley in Arsenal Interactivo. You can follow him in Twitter. There is the @Chris Wheatley _ and also please promote your channel on YouTube. Come on, bro.
Yes. No, thank you. I'm on YouTube now, so just type in Chris Wheatley and it should come up, hopefully.
Bye, Chris. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.